After college, I became a very project-focused artist and spent very little time doodling for fun. So, let's go back and look at some of my old sketchbooks during a time I did do lots of sketching. Alright, here we have some old watercolor sketchbooks because that's what I usually sketched and doodled in at the time. I think this was around the end of high school, and this one was beginning of college. I'll have to look at the dates. But we'll start with the earlier one. It's got a cute little bunny sticker on it. Okay, so starting off with, we have this little shadow box thing that I made that's kind of falling apart, of this little character I made that I've called Starboy. Basically, he had a cloak full of stars and a little star necklace, and then the night sky was completely dark, which was a fun little project. Let me try to line it up. Okay. So for this first page, we've got some old character sketches. These were part of an old idea that I had, which was a girl who got trapped in a different dimension and started working with this organization, which basically jumped from different dimension to dimension, and she was basically trying to find her homeworld. And then we got some fox boy that was also her friend, and then this was like her mentor. Honestly, it's been a while since I thought about this idea, and I used her design for Ava for Crystallized, so if I ever come back to it, I'm gonna have to redesign her. But yeah, this was 2015, so right at the end of high school. And then we've got some little doodles. These are little color mini illustrations that I made for Huevember. So I just drew a little character design every day based off a different color. And then all these pages are kind of coming apart. We've got some more colors. We got Bill. We got this little autumn boy that I kept drawing a lot. Some Undertale sketches. Can we see? Is it focusing? I hope it's focusing. And then we got some autumn drawings right here. And then right here I drew Vati, which was the main villain for Minish Cap, because honestly he's one of my favorite villains in Legend of Zelda. He only showed up there and I think in Four Swords, but I just love his character design. And then we got this jellyfish girl. I remember struggling with the background, but I'm so glad that I did it. Ooh, and then right here is when I got some, I think it was gold and silver like watercolor calligraphy stuff, and then some brush tip ink pens, and so this was just me messing around with them. There's that autumn boy again. And then I did a lot of fan art doodles, so we've got Caleb and Eddiewick from an old RPG game. And then more experimenting with like the little gold watercolor. And then I was just experimenting with like a more realistic style versus a more cartoony style. And then we've got some Ladybug and then Gary and Ebe from the horror RPG game Ebe, as well as some of my own little characters. This was a girl who really loved mermaids, and then this green guy right there was a leafy sea dragon. And then last page, we got some Watanohara in the Deep Sea, another horror RPG game. Or maybe it's just an RPG game. As well as some fun little doodles. Okay. Just move this to the side. And then I remember liking this sketchbook a lot more. We got a little joy sticker, and then this was a 4-leaf clover that I Mod Podged on the corner. This one was a Huevember illustration, I remember doing a lot of like girls with different flowers. So we'll probably see more of those. Oh, and then we also got some Inktober pictures. I think some of the dates are kind of mixed around because I think I skipped the first page and then came back to it later. This was something I tried doing a lot in this sketchbook, and it was to fill the entire page up with different characters and colors. So if I would ever find a really cool design or style on Instagram, I would try to mimic it and copy it in my own way. Here we have some experimentation. I used some actual paper and cut out the designs for these two pictures. And then we got more of that fox boy from the first dimension hopping idea that I had. And then I think this was a humanoid version of a Pokemon that I designed at the time that I really liked drawing. And we got some Genji doodles because I played Overwatch at the time. I remember just trying to have fun in this sketchbook, drawing the first things that came to my mind. A lot of fan art pages right here. We've got some Overwatch, some Pokemon, some Mystic Messenger stuff. And then some more of that shiny watercolor. And then we have some more Vati doodles, as well as an old drawing of Rachel from Sugar and Swords. I wish I'd written down most of the characters that I studied from. I know that this one was Siren on Instagram, but most of them I didn't write down because I just doodled and kind of became an amalgamation of all the different artists that I liked. I remember these being some pose studies that I turned into my own characters. And then a lot of different facial expressions because that was one of my favorite things to draw. We got this star boy again. I think I named him Alex, now that I remember. And then some little sketches, and then these were like little concepts art of like a little, what's it called? A little 3D box, similar to this thing. Except I made like a little fox watercolor version. I don't know where the final illustration went, but I have it somewhere. And then this was a sketch of a character I made for a children's storybook. I think I named him Zach. It's been a while. And then we got some more Inktober drawing right here. And then some Art Nouveau and plant inspired stuff. Very shiny. Another one of my favorite pages right here, just trying to fill up the entire page with illustrations and character designs. And these were some early gouache practices because I don't really use gouache. So this was me trying to figure out how it would work. I just remember having a lot of fun doing pages like this, just making it so colorful and stylized and just drawing the first thing that came to my mind. And then we have the last page right here. To compare, here's the sketchbook that I'm currently using. I started it in like 2022, 2023, and I still haven't finished it because most of the stuff that I sketch are digital, but we got a lot of fun little stickers. And most of the stuff in here are very messy doodles, nothing finished, nothing clean and colorful, because I'm not trying to make little illustrations to post online. This is just mainly for me, just for practice. And I try to figure out some more mediums too, like these are my Copic studies because I've never really used Copic all that much. But every now and then you'll see an actual illustration. This was something I copied from the Final Fantasy promotional art for an event. But nowadays I mainly just do little character studies, gesture drawings. Nothing that I'm going to post, but just for me really. And that's it. Comparing my current sketchbook with my old one, honestly what's changed the most is that the things that I draw nowadays traditionally are mainly for myself and for practice, whereas my oldest sketchbooks I was mainly focused on style studies and trying to create things that would be fun to post online. After looking at my old art, it does make me want to draw more of these fun stylized doodles. Just play around with colors and markers and draw the first thing that comes to mind. I recently got some Copic and Posca markers, so now would be a good time to start using them. Like I said, I'm a very project-focused artist, and nowadays when I draw, it's usually related to my comics or illustrations I make. But looking at these sketchbooks really makes me remember how fun it was to fill up pages with different expressions and styles. I always like watching other artists flip through their sketchbooks, and it was fun to flip through an old one of mine and see how far my art has come. When I eventually fill up my newest sketchbook, maybe I'll make a video about it. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. That was everything I wanted to talk about, so thank you again for watching this video. If you want more content from me, then please check out my Patreon. I post extra Sugar and Swords episodes there, as well as my comic Crystallize, which you can read ahead. And I also post art tips and videos as well there that aren't posted here on YouTube. So I hope you guys all have a great day, and I'll see you again later. Bye!